Hi, I'm Tony Fleming, and this is Fleming's Ultimate Garage.
People talk about $75,000, $85,000, $100,000 Pro Touring Camaros, and you wonder what goes into it to possibly make it to that level. Let's take a look at this car right here, and you'll see what an $80,000 restoration into a Pro Touring Camaro makes it. Let me tell you really what Pro Touring means to me. What it means to me is I get the great looking classic style body, but I get the high performance upgrades of today's car that make this thing handle like it's on rails, stop really hard, go really fast, air conditioning, power windows, killer sound system. It's today's modern car wrapped up in classic style that you just can't get anymore. When this car rolls down the road, people can't do anything but do this or smile or whatever it is they do. Let's take a look at this car for a minute. Let's start with the paint. The paint body on this car is spectacular. I don't like to use spectacular a lot, but I want you to come up here because we talk about looking at pictures online. You know, make sure that when you look at those pictures, you can see the guy's camera, what's the make and model of that camera, the leaves on the trees, what this guy looks like, what his t-shirt is wearing. It should be crystal clear in those photos. If it's not, the car does not have great shine. Photos hide that. Right here, the video can't hide that. And as we look at this car here, you can read this window sticker perfectly. And by the way, these are the window stickers that we have in our showroom here, and they're a description of what's on the car. I walk around with sometimes because I can't remember everything about every car, and in this case here, I definitely can't remember all this stuff. Anyway, let's take a peek right here and start down here. Big brakes all the way around. We're talking cross-drilled and slotted, big 17-inch the torque thrust with the gray centers. And then here's an idea of where big dollar cars come into play. You know, when you're buying a car from somebody, here's a little something to look at as far as, is this a great car? Tires. For instance, if you're restoring a car or you just bought a car and you want like a cheap set of tires or something like that, you know, you're just gonna put those on. If it's your baby and it's everything that you want it to be, you're gonna put the very best tire you can get. Obviously, you're not gonna overpay. But for instance, like this car here, Michelin Pilot Sports, okay? Spectacular set of tires, Z-rated, rated up to 100 and I think 150 plus. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's somewhere where they are. Anyway, Pilot Sports all the way around on this car here. And as we walk to the back tire, which I want you guys to see for a second, this car's been mini tubbed. And what that means is they've kept the back seat. Okay, when you tub a car, you have to take the back seat out. Most everybody knows that, but some people do not. So anyway, so this has mini tubs in it. They've kept the back seat, but they've been able to put in a 315 series rear tire. Let's check that tire out because it's bad from behind. Check out that meat back there. That is one big tire. This has the RS SS package on it, so you have the RS reverse taillights. All new lights here, all new chrome, all new stainless, all new exhaust. The gas tank alone in this car, was $1,200. And the reason why, it's a handmade gas tank because this car is fuel injected. And so it has the pump is buried inside the tank to get rid of all the extraneous stuff. And with the fuel injection, you have to have significantly higher fuel pressure. And today's modern cars have the tank built into it. Again, we're here, slotted, cross-drilled rotors, big brakes. Man, it's good looking in there. Let's take a peek under here and we'll see what the motivation is, and you'll see some of the things that you can't see from the outside. Freshly built 355 small block, aluminum heads, jet hot coated exhaust. This car is fuel injected. It's got a sneaky air cleaner on it, and it's got billet valve covers, billet air cleaner, NASCAR style. This car makes a lot of power and it goes really well. Here's a couple things. Can you come on in? Tubular front suspension. Fast ratio box with billet gears in it. Serpentine belt system. Air conditioning. Suspension made by Global West. The car handles really well, and I'm going to tell you why I know that. I've driven this car home the last 3 days in a row. It's an awesome, awesome car to drive. You know, we had a tough winter here, and we didn't get to drive muscle cars and things like that for a while, and the weather here is spectacular, and this car drives equally as nice as the weather is. Here's a neat touch that puts these cars over the top. So you see the air conditioning here, and you're probably saying, well, where's all the hoses and all the extraneous stuff that's supposed to be around here? Well, here's what they did. They went ahead and they ran the hoses down here, okay? And they ran them inside the fenders, all the way back here where the inlets are for the heating and air conditioning, which is underneath the dash. Look how clean it makes the engine compartment. Just beautifully, beautifully done. Everything in this car, now listen, if you don't like a car that handles well and is stiff, and corners like a brand new car, then I suggest that you stay away from this car here, because this car has well over 400 horsepower in it, has a Richmond 5-speed in it, Okay, not a regular GM 5-speed, a Richmond 5-speed. It's got a Moser 12-bolt rear, built specifically for this car, posi-traction, things like that. The bushings in this car are solid aluminum. So this car, although it doesn't ride rough, it definitely is not as quiet sound-wise when you're riding down the road, which I like because I think it just feels great. And you can look around the car and come check this out. Here's another nice piece. You can see how thick these body bushings are in anodized aluminum. Electric fan, big fat radiator, condenser, lights, just beautiful. Okay, so we've looked at the outside, we've looked at the suspension system, we've looked at wheels and tires, we've looked at brakes, we've looked at paint and body. The underneath of the car is beautifully prepared just like the top is. And we've probably passed the $50,000 mark, maybe $60,000 mark in everything that's done in this car. Let's check out the inside because the inside is really cool. And talk about tasteful. This is the 30th anniversary Camaro interior. Come check it out. Look how beautiful this is. White houndstooth, 30th anniversary edition. This interior here is a $10,000 interior. And you say, well, where's $10,000 spent? Let's start with this. Custom covered front and rear bucket seats. Custom console. Air conditioning controls. This car also has power windows. Okay. Also has tilt wheel. Full custom dash with phantom gauges. The cool thing about these Autometer phantom gauges is you can change the color of them if you want to. These are red right now to go with the car. If you like blue, if you like green, they're interchangeable. Billet air conditioning and heating vents. Look how nice that's done. Okay, let's say tonight's the night you want a little more power. The fuel injection system in this car is fully programmable. Maybe you're going for a long drive and you don't really need all that power. You're going to hit one of the maps that you've saved inside here and get fuel economy. And the great thing about this is you hit the key, it fires up every time, whether it's the car's 220 degrees or whether it's 150 degrees. And it's just very, very nice. Billet switches. Wanted to show you the power windows real quick if I could. The killer sound system here called Secret Audio. Everything is hidden in the car. This is all there is right here, and it is really nice sound system. Billet wiper knobs. This car even has, I know this sounds crazy, it even has intermittent wipers. But it's just the detail stuff that you're getting here and not having to build this car all by yourself. Okay? All right, let's go check out the trunk for a second. Okay, another like over-the-top expense. Gold battery coast cables, Optima battery, billet box to hold the battery down. Just this setup right here alone, is probably $600 for a battery. That's the detail that goes into these cars that are very expensive to build. Somebody loved this car and they really built it for themselves to drive it. Well, you might ask, well, why are they getting rid of it? But things happen to people in their lives. Maybe they're done with this and they want to build a new project. Maybe they married now and inherited some kids along the way too, and maybe need to get a sport utility, so they'll get a car later on, and maybe they need to take care of the kids right now. But as it sits, this has been 3 days in a row for me driving a car, and that's very rare that I take the same car home 3 days in a row. How about I go ahead and start it for you so you can hear what it sounds like. You know, we were talking about a great car. I just want to run over a couple of the highlights real quick for you. 383 stroker V8, aluminum heads, Magnetti Marelli fuel injection. You know, we've quoted it at 400. We were told it's 500. I'd like to keep it at 400. I think it has way more than 400, but I just wanted you to know that. Richmond 5-speed, Moser rear, spectacular paint, the dash, air conditioning, power steering, power four-wheel disc brakes. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. And quite honestly, one of the nicest Pro Touring Camaros we've ever had. Anyway, we're super proud to present this car. Call us 301-816-1000 and we'll tell you all about it.